try to stop the mission. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. What's the better thought of the
Hello, everyone. This is your host, Maria Duenas with the Entrepreneur Soiree. And I hope you guys are feeling much better than I am, because truth be told, I am not feeling all that great. My kids actually have been with a cold for the last couple of weeks. It kind of just comes and goes. But this past weekend, it really just hit us all. And I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today. And I was like this close to not coming on. But I was like trying to find a way, like, Maria, you're not feeling good. Maybe you should just not do your show today. But something inside of me said, no, Maria, you need to get up. You need to get it together, because that's what life is all about. Being able to show up even when you don't feel like it, right? Whether, we're feeling sick or just other stuff is happening in our life, which all is legitimate and real reasons why you probably are skipping out on stuff. But why I'm sharing this with you is because this past weekend was the reason why I went into my thoughts. I went to an amazing event called Driven. It was Driven number 6, hosted by Albert and Sylvia Perciato, who are in the real estate mortgage industry. And just the overall event was filled with so much wealth and knowledge, and just like pieces here and there that we can all walk away with. So I had to dig into that little bag of stuff that I collected, this weekend of information, and pull myself out of bed to be here today, because that's what it's all about. Like, if you're serious about winning in life and making things happen for yourself, your family, your business, whatever it is, we can't go, kind of just avoiding things and just saying, like, for X, Y, reasons, I'm not going to be able to show up today. So the main reason for today's episode is for me to share some of the information that I felt was valuable at this Driven event. And when I tell you the caliber of people that showed up, the speakers, it was like a dream come true for me. And when I say that, I mean it in the most genuine way, because these are speakers and people and entrepreneurs who have actually made it in life and are extremely successful, not to mention wealthy. But I've been following their journey for some time. So to be able to check that little list of, okay, so I'm getting, ready to hear this person, that person over the weekend, was just amazing. I'm going to pull my phone up real quick just so I can name a few. Not that I forgot who they are, but because I'm not all there because I'm a little sick. But they had speakers like Patrick Bet-David, Josh Altman, Santiago Aranda, Brad Lee, David Meltzer, Andy Elliott, Eric Thomas, Rob Luna, Dean Graziosi. And I know that you have probably heard at least of one, if not all. And like I said, these are all people that I've been following for some time. And just to hear them speak and for them to share their story with all of us was extremely amazing. And I say that because you're always wondering, or at least I'll speak for myself, I'm always wondering, like, how did that person make it in life, or at least is making it? And what I mean by that is, like, you see them that obviously they have a successful business. They're growing by the minute. They're doing amazing things, not only for their company, but for the community. They're amazing human beings in general. And on top, they have like all this money. And you're wondering, like, will that, or can that ever be me? And the answer is 100% yes. This weekend, they kind of solidified that for me. Because you always think, like, obviously I don't come from rich parents. They haven't handed me anything. Everything I do have, whether it's a lot or a little in, people's eyes, it's some stuff that I have earned with my husband. Together, we have worked to build where we are today. But am I where I want to be? No. If I'm being honest, absolutely not. Because the whole point of following people and engaging with these types of people is to know that there's so much more potential in you. You're just not seeing it. And the reason why we're sometimes not able to see it is because of our environment and the people we're surrounding ourselves. So right away, you have to be open to hearing the way other people think, to hear the way other people do things, and to be coachable, to be willing to let go of the things and processes that aren't really serving you a purpose, to be able to allow bigger and greater things to come into your life. And that's exactly how I felt this weekend, even though do consider myself a lifelong learner because I'm always wanting to learn from people. I'm always trying to attend, different events because of the nature of my own company. It's very hard for me to escape when these events are happening because I physically need to be present as an event planner, right? But whenever I can, I will try to, schedule things around it so that I can surround myself with the type of people that I really do hope to be one day. And my heart tells me that I will be there one day. It's just a matter of time and truly understanding, like right now, in a couple of weeks, I do have a one-on-one with my life coach. And I can't wait to have that. Why? Because I think I know what I'm supposed to be doing and what my purpose here in life is. But then there's times where I'm like, am I even doing what I'm supposed to be doing? And then I start questioning myself, and all these things happen. And I'm sure all of you guys can relate at some point or another if we're being like honest, with ourselves, because we feel that we're going somewhere, we have it all figured out, and then things start happening, and then you start questioning yourself. And I don't want to continue to have that pattern because I know that I have so much to give, so much. And not only in my business, but as a human being, I genuinely love helping people. And that's why I think I do so well in what I do, because I'm helping people create and design amazing memories through our event planning services, right? Because not everything always has to be like a bad problem that you're helping someone solve. Planning a wedding, planning a quinceañera, planning a social event, a corporate event for all your employees, that's all meaningful. And the fact that I get to be a part of that, I don't take that lightly. I truly pour my heart into every single event that I do, whether it be small or big. It doesn't really matter. The budget doesn't matter. The time that I put into it is still the same. But I know in my heart, there's much more for me to do. I haven't shared this with all of you, but I am getting ready to venture out into the real estate world, which is another reason why I want to start mingling with these types of people. I haven't taken my exam, I still have a little ways to go. I really don't know much about real estate, but I figured, why am I going to wait until I get my license to become a realtor to start acting? uh, and and engaging in these types of events. I have amazing friends that are already doing this and that have been doing it for years. And they've somehow have mentored me along the way. And new people that I meet are obviously amazing, and are even just me sharing that, they'll be like, well, when you're ready, let us know. We'd love to help you. We'd love to, take you or, connect you with the people that we know. So I figured, this would be a great opportunity for me to kind of get my feet wet. I've attended a couple of these events that Albert and Sylvia have hosted. So I'm just like, let me see what all this is about. And when I left on Sunday after the event was over, I left thinking, wow, like literally, I was just like, wow, I am amazed by the procedures the principles that some of these speakers shared with us. And truth be told, it was nothing we've never like heard before. Everything is literally that simple. You put in the work, you put in the dedication, and you're going to end up getting results. Another common factor that everyone had, which is another reason why I'm like, dude, I'm going to make it no matter what. All of these people, the majority of the people come from poor, broken families. And guess what? I have both of those qualities in me. Okay. So I definitely don't come from wealthy parents. And I do, unfortunately, come from a family that was dysfunctional, that was broken. Thank God that's not the case anymore. It somehow, some way worked itself to where it's kind of put back together in the most, for the better, I should say. But that was my life. That was my upbringing. I'm sitting there over the weekend thinking, you know, they could have had an excuse. They could have had a reason. You know, Rob Luna was talking about how he wished his mom would have taken advantage of the welfare system, right? But the reason why she wasn't able to take advantage was because she was always drunk and on drugs. Now, when you hear that, and here you have this successful entrepreneur, you know, stock market expert, you're thinking, again, what excuse do I have to not make it in this world? The difference is he was willing to put in the work. He was willing to let go of those excuses. He was willing to not listen to the little voices in your head like me today, like why I wasn't feeling good and why my throat is hurting and I wasn't going to be able to talk, which is all true. But I was like, no, Maria, get your ass up. You got to go. You got things to do. And you got a weekend full of events starting on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you have no time to be sick. I'll leave being sick for Sunday, right? And that's how I'm talking to myself right now because that is my reality. So I going back to like to all the speakers and I took a lot of notes, and truth be told, I mean, we're excited, we're writing and we're listening, and I really didn't want to write too much, and I was kind of like, do I write or do I listen, because I can't really do both. I was just like soaking everything in, the stories that they were telling us, just like simple things that we can do in our day to day, but why we still failed to do it is besides myself. And I was like, oh, well, that's me, or I could totally improve in this department. And, you know, why am I not doing this if I could be doing that? Well, why, Maria? Because you're wasting time. And all those things started going through my head, and it's not to point excuse, like to have excuses, right? Well, I'm not doing this because of so and so, or it's an outside variable that we can't control. No, the truth is everything is within us. I always say you can't control the outside stuff. That's fine, and that's all true. But we shouldn't let those variables we can't control determine how our day turns out, how our week turns out, and so on and so forth. So I was just thinking, Maria, you need to hold yourself accountable a whole lot more. It does get a little tricky, and there's like a lot of little gray lines, just because, as you guys know, I'm also a stay-at-home mom and I do watch my children. So a lot of the times I do find myself struggling because I'm like, I'm taking care of the kids and I'm also, you know, running the business, and I do have help. But it's not all the time. It's not 24/7. And those are things that I need to work on. I really do need to, you know, focus on finding someone that is going to be able to help me at least 5 days a week so that I can focus on making more money, because I could be making a lot more money, if truth be told, you know, but I'm not, because I'm also thinking, you know, I want to be present. I want to be involved in the upbringing of my children, because I could have dropped them off at a daycare a long time ago. I could have dropped them, enrolled them in whatever, and then that would have been just like something less that I would have to worry about. But I'm just thinking that's not where my heart is. Like, I want to be around them. That's the reason why I am an entrepreneur. One of the main reasons, because I want to be able to have that freedom. I want to be able to grab my kids and go as we please. And whatever I need to do, they're coming with me. They're working with me. They're shopping with me. They're meeting with me. And that's what I continue, to plan to do. But that doesn't mean I can't have better systems implemented. That doesn't mean I can't benefit from actually finding someone I could trust, besides my family, because those are the only people I actually trust with my children, but someone that I could trust that can come with me, and then I can be a little bit more productive. So those are all just the things that are going through my head. Obviously, showing up to events like these, I went by myself. I'm tired of inviting people. And again, their excuses are legit. Like, if they have somewhere else to be, like, I would, what would have happened if I had an event that day? I probably would not have gone. But truth be told, the excuses that are given have nothing to do with work, or have nothing to do with anything that cannot be missed out on. So I'm just going to start showing up to these places by myself. It's extremely uncomfortable. Number one, because everyone shows up in like little posses, everyone shows up in groups. And here is Maria showing up by herself, which is perfectly fine. I'm able to do that because I'm comfortable. I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable showing up by myself. I am confident enough to show up to any of these places and mingle with these people like I knew them. And when I walk away, every single time I leave any type of event, um, I'm thinking, I'm glad I came. Like, that was something that I needed to hear. Thank God I chose to, again, not talk my way out of why I shouldn't be going there. Because I'm going to, the one weekend I could have spent with my children, I decided to go spend it with other people that I didn't even know. But then I'm like, thank God I did, because if that event is only going to make me a much better person. Why? Because it's now giving me different ideas. It's allowing me to think differently and to be able to implement things that, as simple as they may sound, you sometimes, like, they miss you and they go over your head because they're so simple. Right? They're so simple, and you're thinking it can't be that simple. Like, an example, Brad Lee was talking about how he was able to sell like the most desserts at one of these jobs that he held at one point in his life, where he was working at a restaurant, and the goal was to sell as many desserts as possible. Well, him being the newbie, he shows up and he asks, the people he was waiting on, like, can I get you any dessert after they had eaten their meal? And they say, no, we're full. So thank you. We will pass on the dessert. But the goal was still the same. You still need to sell as many desserts as possible. So he said, okay, well, if I'm going to ask them by the time they're full, then maybe I should probably ask them before they're full, right up front, while they're going to place their meal order. And he started doing that. I mean, and he was breaking the record left and right. And literally everyone was wondering, what is Brad telling all these people? Like, I mean, everyone's taking the dessert to go. Why? Obviously because they're full, they have no more room for dessert, but they're still taking it with him. But it doesn't really matter because he already sold it, right? And it got to the point where he was kind of getting ready to leave the job, because he was in Vegas at the time and he had to go back to Washington, to where he was living. So he took that job just to make some quick money to get him back home. Then the manager comes up to him and says, like, well, what was your secret now that you're leaving? And he was like, well, I pretty much asked them before they got full. That was the first thing I asked them. And it's like common sense people, right? And it got me thinking, till this day, you will never, or at least in my experience, I still get asked if I want dessert at the end, as opposed to this is what you're going to order for dinner, but why don't we take your dessert order now? Right. And it's just simple little nuggets like that that get you thinking. And then you feel super dumb because you're like, that was not like rocket science. Like you could have figured that out, Maria. And it's just really that simple. So it was a good reminder, a good refresher, just to know that, yes, I am going in the right path. I am on track to where I want to go. There's still a big gap. There's still a big, a big road ahead of me that I still have to travel, but I'm doing things for the right reasons, which at the end of the day, in my opinion, matters most because ultimately we all want to have money. We all want to have a beautiful life. We all want to live comfortable, right? Because that's what we're all asking for that. That's all most of the reasons why we're working. We want to be able to help our parents, our children, so they don't go through the stuff we went through. And a lot of the times I would think like, oh, I just want to be rich and I just want to have money. And then I would like literally after I would say like, yeah, that sounds cool. But I'm like, well, what am I going to do with that money? Like, okay, say that I'm rich today and say that I have, disposable income coming out of my elbows. What am I going to do with that? Do I really know? And the answer before would have been no. No, I mean, I probably would have gone shopping and I would have gotten the big house, the cars. That's what my answer would have looked like. Now, my answer is totally different. The reason why I know that one day I will become a millionaire, and I'm saying it right here, is because I do want to have that kind of money so that I can go ahead and have options so that I can live a lifestyle that, like Albert would say, you don't need a vacation from. That's the reason. And yes, the cars and the houses will come with that, but that's not the main goal. The main goal is to be able to have money to be able to be a resource to other people because you can want to help all the people you want in your life, but truth be told, you still need money for that. So when people say you don't need money to be happy, yes and no, but you really do need to have money as a resource to be able to take your life to the next level, to be able to help other people, to be able to offer your children that life that you wish you would have had and you didn't. So all those thoughts, are coming and going through my head. Like I said, I am grateful. I am extremely blessed to be in the position that I am today because of our hard work. Because again, no one has handed anything to us. Yeah, I don't have, this lavish lifestyle, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to get there. I first have to get priorities in order. First is first, and then the rest will come. And it's just about knowing that you can improve your life, that anything truly is possible if you really have your heart in the right place and you're willing to put in the work, because that's all it takes. Lately, I've been connecting a lot of people. Okay. And when I say connecting, I have a lot of other fellow event planners that are reaching out like, Maria, I need help with X, Y, and Z. Do you know anyone? Yes, give me 1 second. Let me put some information together. I'll send out like a little lead to the people that I trust and feel would work perfect with that individual. Make the connection. And a lot of the times, not a lot of people are willing to do that. Why? Because we're not going to get paid for that transaction. We're not, maybe we're running the risk of that planner never calling me, but calling them. But at the same time, when you do it for the right reasons, because you truly want to help people connect, everything always comes back to you. And I am like, I can raise my hands to that because of the amount of times that I have done it. And the blessings from these people still come back to me. I'll give you a quick example. Just last week, I had an event planner reach out and said, hey, listen, I need help for the day of. I need 2 event planners. I'm part of that event. So therefore, I won't be able to take over. Can you do it or do you have anyone else who can assist me? And I said, well, I would love to, because she's an amazing planner. I mean, she does high-end events. And I'm thinking, wow, this is the perfect opportunity. But because I already have a commitment for that day, I'm not able to get away from that event. So I said, give me a minute. Let me take down your quick notes and give me 24 hours to find you some options. So I did. I reached out to the people that I would trust that would be of her caliber. And again, some responded, some didn't. And the first one that responded right away, I made the connection and it worked out. My friend and fellow event planner got hired, her and her assistant, to help this other event planner. So she came back to thank me and to say, thank you so much, because I was able to solve her problem. But then she said, make sure you save this date for me, because I want to work with you on another upcoming event. You see, not once did the thought of me losing an opportunity, or if I connect them with someone who's better than me, I'm going to miss out. No, I thought she needs help and my responsibility is to help her. And if I can, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I do that all the time, all the time. And that's why I know that I'm doing things from my heart. I'm doing things for the right reasons. And I'm not always attaching a dollar symbol to it. Because at the end of the day, not everything, in my opinion, needs to turn into a transaction. What's more important is to build on those relationships, nurture those relationships, and really cultivate them, because you never know who they can be dealing with, or the people that they're connected to. And maybe next time that event planner is not able to help. And she's going to say, you know what? I have the right person for you. And it happens to me all the time. So, and that's something also that I've been like in the back of my head, like, be a resource to people, be resourceful. Don't think like if you connect someone that does the same thing as you to another person or a potential client, that you're going to be out of business. Trust me, I've been doing this for 15 years. We will be celebrating our 8th year anniversary next week. And I would not have been able to get this far in our business, in my career, and in my life if I would have thought like, I can't connect people because someone else is going to take the opportunity and I'm not going to benefit directly. So, with all this being said, just wake up, be grateful, be intentional, and don't be too hard on yourselves. And know that, yes, you listening, even if it's just one person, you deserve to have the best life. And you can have the best life. And you can have everything you put your heart and your mind to it. Because this past weekend at Driven 6, that was like a reminder after reminder after reminder, because every single one of those names that I mentioned to you at the beginning, they were all able to make it happen in their life with the most unperfect circumstances, with drama, without family, with addiction, with being broke, being homeless. And all of us can relate to that at one point of our lives or another. So, having said that, I wish you guys all the best. And thank you so much for listening to another one of our episodes. Bye.
Glutathione is a big word. It's the body's own master antioxidant. It's a scavenger for free radical, bacteria, and viruses. There are no products in the market with the ingredient NASET. NASET increases the production of glutathione that's in our body already to strengthen and enhance our immune system, elevate sense of well-being, support muscle strength and endurance, cognitive function, and liver support. It helps with increased energy and blood sugar regulation. Get your bottle of GSH Plus from www.salvationnutra.com.